Hi all, it's Ed from Racket Ralph's. Welcome again. It's the last day of August and just a short video for you today because we've got a move up, which is Hela, who's around my neck. We'll talk more about her in a minute, but we're in Reuben's room, which is where we keep the snakes. Reuben's on the camera. He's going to come in front of the camera in a short while to talk about Hela. But yeah, we don't often get to see where the snakes are because it's in Reuben's room and often it's not that tidy. But it's all tidy today, and we wanted to show you our racks and how we're working with those. So these are our Juvenile Racks. These are 12-litre rubs by Herp Exotics. We've got some adult racks, 33-litre ones here as well. If you zoom in, Rubes, or look at the QR code, so we're using Husbandry.Pro, which I'm sure many of you will have heard of, we find it really useful. No mutation creation are really keen on Husbandry.Pro. So we've got the QR codes, and we won't use it now because we're filming on my phone, but if we QR code it, it will bring up all of the details for that particular snake. So for example, you just I think looked at Rapunzel there. If you QR coded
Rapunzel
her.
and a Koye.
That's right. So you can see we've also got stickers there saying what they are. So Rapunzel is a pastel banana, 100% het for clown, and a Koye is a pastel leopard spot nose, 100% het clown, and possibly het pied. She's key for our Batman projects in the future. We'll feature her at some stage. But we find Husbandry.Pro is really useful. Saves a lot of time when, particularly when we're coming to try and sort of create data on the snakes, whether it's weighing or feeding, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's really good. You'll see that we've got tags as well. The black tags show that we've got a snake in shed. We've actually got several in shed at the minute, 3 in shed. The yellow tags show that they didn't feed. So we've got a couple that didn't feed because they're in shed. We had feeding day recently, yesterday actually. So we won't do too much of Hela, but because she did feed. Yeah, a couple of them didn't feed because they're in shed. So we've got Storm here who didn't feed. She's in shed. Maybe if we just open it up, I don't know if you can see, and now she's hiding under her rub. Just put it over the top, Rube. So she's just hiding under her rub there, and you'll see that, oh, a bit scared.
I mean, under her hide.
Under her hide even, sorry. So she's in shed there. She's our Super Pastel Cinnamon, who is getting up towards size. We featured her. She's just a bit under 1,500 grams now. She's about 14.5. So she's not too far from being breeder size. And the Wasp, who's in here, she's in shed. So she is our pastel yellow belly blade, 100% het pied. She actually did feed, even though she's in shed. She fed, but just on an extra large mouse. She didn't take her normal prey size item, which would normally be a large wiener rat, but she did have something, which was good. And a Koye didn't feed, being in shed. We also, you see that we've got a couple of others with tags on that didn't feed. 2 of those are slight problem feeders we've got. We've got Nebula here, who is our Super Pastel Yellow Belly Pied. She doesn't often feed. She's taking her time. She didn't move too well. She does sometimes feed on extra large mice. But there she is. She's lovely. She's actually in early stages of going into shed, I think, just starting to dull up. Hasn't gone into blue yet, but I think probably will in the next day or 2. But she is improving. She for a long time she didn't feed, and then recently, or fairly recently, she took 3 mice, sort of, I think 3 out of 4 weeks. And then the last 2 or 3 weeks hasn't fed, but showed some interest yesterday. I think she'll probably feed next time. And then our other problem feeder over here is Pearl, who has hit the 1,000-gram wall, we believe. If I just take the camera around this side, Rubes, you can just see her down there. She is a Super Pastel, black pastel. spider lesser. I think when we got her, she was about 1100 grams, but she's dropped down to just below 1000 now. I'm sure the move just caused her to hit the wall, but we've only ever been able to get her to feed once, and that wasn't a big meal, it was an extra large mouse. But the last couple of weeks she has been showing some interest in rats, which is good. In fact, last night I thought she was gonna strike. She certainly was tongue flicking, she was smelling it, she was homing in a little bit, and then she lost interest. But I'm pretty certain that in the next week or two we might get her to feed, which would be good on rats, which would be good. That was a small rat we were offering her. We've tried to offer her smaller items. It didn't seem to make a difference, but I think she will soon. Anyway, so that's Husbandry.Pro, and we find it really useful, and that's our tag system. We've also got just a quick update on Merida. She's in the room next door. We won't show you her. She's our Orange Dream Pied, which we featured a month or so ago when we got her, or a bit over that. Really good. She ate for the first time yesterday. She again, by just the movement and stuff, it put her off food for a bit, but she's been showing more interest the last couple of nights and last couple of weeks. And last night she did feed for the first time while she's been here. She took a large wiener rat. She's weighing, when we got her, she was about 584, I think it was on memory. She dropped down to about 540, 545, I think she is, when we weighed her at the weekend. But she's taken a large wiener rat, and that's really good, really encouraging. So she's doing well. She's in great health otherwise. So we wanted to, first order, Reuben wanted to show you some of his art. Reuben's quite into art as well, and he's certainly got a lot more ability than I have with it. So do you want to talk about a couple of the pictures you've got out here, Rubes?
Well, I've got 3 out here. This one is my pet snake, Lucifer. He's been in a video of ours.
And actually, Lucifer just shut out, didn't he, Reuben?
Yeah, so he's
a couple of days ago. So let's just show you. I did put a picture on Instagram of him yesterday, freshly shed.
About a year old Mojave. He's quite bright.
Yeah, he's just under 1200 grams, and he's really holding his colours well. Whether that's the Het Ultra Male influence, it could be. But yeah, he's lovely. We've obviously shown him in our last video, I think it was, as well. But just show you in his fresh skin, and we'll probably put the Instagram and the Facebook links down below as well for you to follow. But that was a picture you did about a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I drew him there.
When you got him.
Some of my better art. Nice Labrador over here. Took me quite a few hours to do this. And then also, you might recognise this from a film, Captain Jack Sparrow. He's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I did that with all the braiding and whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, so Reuben's quite into his art.
I've got 2 others in frames.
Yeah, so cool. But anyway, so we wanted to just quickly feature Hela. So I think you wanted to talk about her. So if I take her off my neck, you're going to hold her, aren't you? And I'll take the camera. We won't move her too much because, like I say, she did eat. There you go. So, what is Hela, Rubes? What gene is she?
Well, the main gene...
Don't put on your neck because we want to look closer at her now.
Okay. So, we were going to show you her for her Enchi. And she's also, is it 50% het pied?
She's 50% het pied and 66%
het clan.
That's right, absolutely. So, the Enchi gene, for those that don't know, so you might see she looks like fairly similar to what would be called a normal in terms of the colours. A bit brighter, a bit more oranges, and they often turn a bit more yellow as they get older. I was reading up on them. So the Enchi gene was discovered, well, it was actually from a shipment that came over that was imported from Africa in 1998. It was mainly working with some pieds for a collection for pieds, breeding those from wild animals. But the breeder that was importing those was also offered a bunch of unusual, quote, special snakes, and two of them looked identical, and as fortune would have it, were a pair as well, a male and a female. So he raised those up and bred them together, and also put two other unusual looking females to the male, and from that in 2002 bred the first Enchis, confirmed Enchis. And so the Enchi gene, as we say, it does start off sort of oranges, and if you, from what I've read, it can go lighter to yellower colours, but not always. There she is, tongue flicking. Let's see if it's going to focus in on her. But particularly with the Enchi, there's a couple other things I want to point out. So you've got, I don't know if you can see down the side, I won't put my finger there, she's homing in on it, the wide eye stripes there. But the main thing that the Enchi gene is known for is it's a pattern reducer. So you can see down her flanks there that the alien heads are often sort of intermingled there. Greatly reduces the pattern. You don't get the keyholes so much in the alien heads, so it often creates sort of the stripe with a few marks going down the sides. If we look at the sides, those are quite often then ringed by white, which gives a bit more colour there. You can see there, and although on its own it looks like a gene that definitely does something, but a bit insignificant, it is a gene that actually, when combined in other codoms, well, not just codoms, but with other genes, it creates some really quite spectacular effects. It's a gene that seems to go well with pretty much everything. We've got another Enchi clown coming, Orange Dream Enchi clown, haven't we, coming in our Europe snakes that are due to come in about 2 weeks time now, and we're looking forward to getting him here. He's called Vision, but the Enchi gene, yeah, is just a fantastic gene when put into to other groups of genes. So she's lovely, but the key to her, as you said, is that she potentially, and they are only pos hets, potentially carry the clown gene and the pied gene. Hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll carry both. There are a few little clues that she might carry some of them. So from what we'll get to that, the pied markers in a minute, but the first thing with for some clown markers that I'm told, some of it can be, well, the alien head sort of mingling, but like we've just said, that is indicative of the Enchi gene as well, so I don't think we can take that as a clown marker. But what can be a little bit more, if we can see the end of her tail, sometimes a line towards the end of the tail, a straight line on the dorsal, can be indicative of it. And often, I don't know if you can see, just a white tip. Probably the camera. Very tiny. Yeah, camera might not pick that up, but she has got a very small white tip at the end of the tail that can be markers. So hopefully she carries the clown gene. Like I say, 66% chance. To be honest, though, what I think is probably she's more likely to carry, even though it's only 50% chance, is pied, because, as many of you know, that there are several pied markers, and a common pied marker is what they're called train tracks, marks going down the sort of either side of the belly of the snake. Now, that can also occur anyway naturally, including in the Enchi gene. So it's not necessarily a huge clue. And it tends to be sort of the last sort of third or so of the snake where you would get those. She certainly has quite a few train tracks there though, which hopefully she doesn't want to be turned upside down.
Yeah.
We won't move her much because she's eaten, but certainly she's got some tracks there, so I'm hopeful that she will prove out pied, and possibly hopefully for clown as well. And we've got a male that is coming who is a clown, a visual clown, and a 66% pos het pied, so she will go to him, and hopefully, well, we'll certainly prove out if she's het for clown using him because he's visual, but hopefully she'll prove out het for pied, and so will he. He's actually going to go to a different pied as well to prove that he is het for pied. But yeah, so we want to just show you Hela, didn't we? So the reason we want to show you her is that she is ready to move up. So she was living down here at the bottom of this juvenile rack here, or actually, sorry, over this side. But we've prepared a new rub for her because she's now, when we weighed her a couple of days ago, it was 824 grams. So she's ready to move up. So where's her new home going to be, Rubes?
Right up here.
She's going into the top, so we're going to just put her into her new home there. It's all prepared. So if you just want to be honest, she actually went into it a few days ago. So, but so she's used to it. We wouldn't have moved her if she'd just fed and moved her to a new place. But so she's been in there for a few days, but she's settled in very well. She's got her hide there. She'll probably go straight to that.
She's going round the back to the dark side.
There you go. She's going to the dark side. There you go, for those Star Wars fans out there. Anyway, that's Hela. Just wanted to share that with you. We've got some, let's just say, more snakes coming, and some more move ups shortly as well, probably. So thanks for coming. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Any comments, put them in down below. But it's goodbye from me.
Bye.
And goodbye from Moose. Bye.